Alright kids, I wanted to go over some important stuff. As the video says, we're going to talk about injury, more specifically, well, how do you cause an injury, or how can you cause an injury with all the stuff we're doing, how to prevent it. I'll talk a little bit about our mindset going into these workouts, and then I want to finish talking about the barbell sit. So, why I'm bringing up injuries, a couple reasons. First, I'm not there to yell at you. So if you're someone who I constantly yell at, hey, push your knees out, set your shoulders, blah, 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 you really need to stay focused and remember to do that every time. Because it's going to happen, and if you're not thinking about it, it's really going to happen. The big issue here, as you guys may have noticed, is we are going from tens of reps to hundreds of reps. Why this is important to bring up. Something called repetitive use injury or an overuse injury. Overuse injury is we do a movement so much that our body can't recover from it, and so we end up in a recovery deficit, which eventually leads to injury. Hopefully my programming is good enough that that doesn't happen. So let's talk about the other one. Overuse, repetitive use. This is coming from faulty technique. One I really like to pick on is the knee cave in the squat, right? You know, something like that. Every time that knee caves in, you do a little bit of damage. Now, a little bit's fine. I can recover from a little bit. I do that 10 times, no big deal. I've recovered from that by the next time I do squats. Who cares? It didn't happen that much. That's correct. Now let's say I do that 1,000 times, right? It's going to become harder and harder to recover from. It's going to put more and more pressure on your knee and the tendons on the inside of your knee. And it's going to start to cause other issues. Maybe it tightens up into the hip. Maybe it tightens your glutes and your hamstrings. Maybe now it pulls on your hip, your knee, and your ankle. It also creates bad movement patterns. So now my knees collapse on my lunges, my knees collapse. We're going to do glute bridges. I have a hard time using my glutes on my kettlebell swings, so my back hurts. The point is, be very mindful of your technique. If you are really struggling with some movements, take a video, send it to me. Now, if you send it to my phone number, what's going to happen, let me find it here, is I'm going to open up my phone and I'm going to watch your video on this. So I'm not going to be able to see what's going on. So send it to me via Facebook Messenger, send it in a private message, that way not everyone needs to hear about it. And make sure it's under I think, a minute. That's not my rule, that's Messenger's rule. There's a certain size of file that I won't allow you to send. So usually if it's under a minute, you're good to go. But a minute, minute and a half, the file can get too big. So just keep that in mind. We can talk about it, we can go over things, we can play a little bit. Now, you probably won't get the feedback you want while you're doing the workout. That's just one of the struggles with online stuff. Another great way to get injured, we just said, hey, bad technique, hey, we already knew that, be vigilant. Like I said, is that overuse. A really easy way to get overuse issues is to start doing a lot of extra stuff. Hey, I kind of sucked on that one, so I'm just going to repeat it. Not a great idea. The best thing to do is to just, hey, it sucked today, not a big deal, move on, attack it better the next time. Constantly putting yourself through the same workout is going to exacerbate overuse issues, which can lead to injuries in the future. The other thing is adding a lot of extra high-intensity work. Examples would be doing extra workouts that you've either put together yourself or you found online, going for super intense runs or bike rides. And that's not to say you shouldn't do that. It's that too much intensity too often is not a good thing. I'm going to recommend low intensity steady state work, or LISS cardio, low intensity steady state work. 3 great examples. If you're looking to do more outside of what we're doing, 3 great examples. First is chores and yard work. Yes, chores and yard work, they get you moving. You need to do them, otherwise your house and yard look like shit. And then your neighbors are like, oh, there's that lazy Brendan with his shitty yard. I bet his house looks shitty too. And it probably does, because I'm a slob. I digress. So first option is your chores. I like yard work because it gets me outside. And we've had some nice days where the sun is out and it feels good. Brendan is cold. Well, put some sweats on. You'll be fine. Second, a nice long walk. Your dog will thank you. I've said it multiple times. Hey, take that dog for a walk every day if you can. Maple and I just got back from ours, and look at her. She's all tuckered out. Yeah, if I can get her in this. There she is, right? Pooped. Yeah. And if she's pooped, how much strain does that put on me? I don't know. Maybe I'm tougher than her. Anyway, second option is a nice long walk, preferably with a buddy like a dog. Or you can talk to somebody in the group. Hey, maybe they'll go for a walk with you. Just stay 6 feet apart, right? Last one, third one, yoga. You're going to probably find some stuff on YouTube. I really don't have a lot of suggestions for you, so I'm sure other people in the group do. So that's what I would do. One of those 3 things if you're looking for extra rather than repeating workouts or doing other high intensity work. Again, I'm not saying don't go for runs or don't go for bike rides, but be mindful of the intensity and the duration. Let's move on to mindset. I talked about, I used an example, hey, I had a shitty workout, I'm going to repeat it. The best thing to do is to mentally prepare prior to the workout. We all know the workouts, we all know what I'm doing, what we're doing, we watched the video, and if you really didn't know what you're doing, hopefully you've sent me some questions and like, Brendan, what, I don't understand this. Because that's better than just, winging it and seeing what happens. What you should be looking at when you look at a workout is what sort of issues am I going to run into? That should be the big thing. Brendan, we're doing 100 pull-ups. I've only ever done like 2 pull-ups, so I'm totally going to fucking nail this. If you go into with a mindset like that, you're going to be very disappointed when you get to that 3rd pull-up, aren't you? Yes. Instead, hey, we're doing 100 pull-ups. I'm going to have to do these 1 or 2 at a time. I should carve out a nice chunk of space for this to happen. That's the right way to go into this. Hey, today is a leg destruction. I remember last week when I had a leg destruction, I need to break that up better. Last time I just fucking went for it and I crashed and burned. I'm going to try and pace by breaking it up this way. Groups of 10, groups of 15, whatever. Okay, well, Brendan, I did all that and I still sucked ass. Well, sometimes it's hard. That's just how it goes. Not every day is going to be the best, and we've got to be mindful of that. There's a great rule of thumb out there. It's called the 80-10-10 rule, and it says that 80% of your workouts are okay, average, mediocre. You go in, you do the work, it's hard, you go home, you eat, you take a nap. Not a big deal. There's 10% of those workouts where you go in, you're a goddamn god. You are crushing those reps. Weight is weightless. Pull-ups, I can do like 50 in a row. Not a big deal. Burpees, do them with my eyes closed. One arm tied behind my back on one leg, right? Piece of cake. You go home, you eat a tub of ice cream because I'm invincible, right? And you punch a hole in the wall. The other 10%, they're garbage. Absolute shit. I can barely do 2 pull-ups. I can't string my double unders together. Every burpee, I just can't seem to catch my breath. 80-10-10. What this means is probably One workout every 2 weeks is going to suck ass. It might even be as much as one workout every week is going to suck ass. Not that they don't all kind of suck in their own way, but more than it should, if that makes sense. Some other important mindset issues. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is yourself. While Susie Q, I heard she got through like 47 rounds, I got through 3. I must have done something wrong. Well, maybe Susie Q did something wrong to get through 47 rounds. Did you ever think of that? Maybe Susie Q didn't have any weights, and so she had a much easier time because she weighs 47 pounds, right? Maybe Susie Q miscounted and skipped a few rounds. I don't know what happened. Oh, Deborah over there was sore as hell. I wasn't sore. I must not have worked hard enough. Not necessarily true either. You can't judge your workout by how sore you are. You can only judge how good your workout is by the effort you put into it, which is another thing we should talk about, is effort put into your workout. Especially if you feel like you're not getting a lot out of these or not getting enough out of these. If we just go in, we just kind of do the movements, I did them well, I took my time, you may not feel like you're getting enough. Effort, what does this mean? If I'm talking about squeezing your hamstrings on like a glute bridge, you need to squeeze the fuck out of them. On these wads, a lot of stuff's pretty light, a lot of body weight stuff. If you're taking a lot of long breaks, you're holding yourself back. Find a way to keep yourself accountable. Effort per rep, right? That's the way you need to think of it. I'm not just doing reps, I'm putting a lot of effort into each rep. I think that's the big stuff I wanted to talk about. I kind of winged it there because I had the ideas in my head and I went for it. If I think of more stuff, I will. I'll let you guys know. Hopefully, this kind of gives you some things to think about. Quick review, big picture. Focus on your technique because I'm not there to pick on you. If you need help with your technique, take a video, send it to me. Third, have a strategy going into each workout, right? Ways to break things up, how to tackle certain movements, modifications you might be expected to have to do. Fourth, effort intensity is what's going to make the workouts the most productive, not more reps or more work. I think that was the big picture stuff. Okay, lastly, bars. I wanted to play around with bars a little bit with you guys. As you know, there's like 30 of you, and I've got like 8 bars to give out. I had a lot of people say, hey, they were interested in bars, and not everyone can get a bar at the same time. So we're going to do a little experiment, not this week, starting next week. We're going to try and rotate bars around. So what it means is you get a bar for a week, and then you give it back, and someone else gets it for a week. So I want to run a test trial with a handful of people, just a couple people next week. And what we'll do is Saturday at noon, you come, you get your bars, and next Saturday at noon, you drop your stuff off. Don't ask me what I will be changing with the workouts. Don't ask me if I'll be making them do everything different because I have a week to figure that out. The answer is I don't know yet. The big thing is I'm looking for interest who would be willing to be part of the bar rotation program, the BRP. How about that? So if you are, just shoot me a message. I know you guys, a lot of people already said, hey, I'm interested in the bar. If you send me a message and you're still interested with rotating the bars week to week, send me another message, right? So I just want to make sure people are still on board for this. One of my worries with this is somebody will forget to bring the bar in Saturday at noon. And I think this is pretty valid. We had a few people show up kind of late or just miss it completely yesterday. So I thought as well, if you have a bar and you're supposed to bring it back, I will just remove you from the workout lists until that bar comes back in. So don't be late is what I'm saying. Yeah. Cool beans, guys. Next week's workout's coming soon. Hopefully I put one up today. That's the plan. And enjoy the rest of your quarantine.